We are doing great on time. So I want to offer another speaker here. I just want to catch people up on, I'm sure you've all heard the news. You know, if I had a Christmas present I could ask for this year, it would be for Denny Heck to not be part of our political landscape any longer. And in all fairness, it looks like his guilty conscience has caught up with him, and he's decided not to run again. So thank you, God, for that. We have somebody who is going to be chasing his seat, and that's Nancy Slotnick, and you'll have the same time as everybody else.
Okay. Well, I didn't count planning to speak, but welcome the opportunity. As C just mentioned, yes, until yesterday, I thought I was going to be running as a challenger against Denny Heck. And I woke up to, or not quite woke up, but a couple hours after I was in the office, I got the amazing news that he has announced his retirement. So now we have a new strategy to work out. Now I'm running against whoever jumps into the race now, which I've heard some names already thrown out. The Tacoma News Tribune did an article with all their speculation and the people they've talked to who are considering it. So we're in the process of a strategy shift, but a little about me. I never intended to run for political office until a few years ago when I just got tired of feeling like we weren't being very well represented in our congressional district in DC. I didn't feel like I was seeing the representation that I wanted to see, and I felt like the person sitting there was not the person who was representative of this district as a whole. I think, I'm a 25-year Army veteran, and I always considered that my version of what public service was about, and was ready to walk away after that and go on into my role as a small business owner up in Pierce County. But I got tired of watching what wasn't happening. Fort Lewis, JBLM is the largest employer in the 10th Congressional District. We have the 11th highest number of veterans of any congressional district in the country. We no longer have a single veteran in the state representing us in DC. I think it's time to change that, and I hope to be that. A little more about me. Not only am I a veteran, my husband is also a retired Army, and my two oldest children are veterans. My son served 4 tours in Iraq. My daughter served a year in Afghanistan and 2 years in Korea. And then I also have a son who's a Special Olympian. Some of the people in the room have met him. He's the only one of my children who still lives at home. And I've been his caregiver for, he's my stepson technically, but I've been his caregiver most of his life. And so I've dealt with working with the Social Security system and what that looks like, and dealing with Department of Oak Rehab. And I also have an 88-year-old mother-in-law who's a Social Security recipient who also lives in my home. And then I have one younger son who's a blue-collar worker. And is trying to get into law enforcement, incidentally. But I just want to do the best I can to represent this district the way that I think it deserves to be represented, with some real learning how to find common ground. I have discussed it with the division that we've seen in our Congress. I think we need to learn how to work for the people instead of all this political division. And so I think with that, I will open the floor to any questions. Yes?
I believe you ran in the last election, is that correct? Did you run as a Republican?
I ran as an independent.
Did you caucus with the Republicans in DC? What's the plan on that?
Okay, absolutely. Well, and since I'm running as a Republican now, I would absolutely caucus with them. But running as an independent, I was very disgusted with the division, and that was really what caused me, after a lifetime as a Republican, to just say, you know what, maybe it's time for another way, a third party, an independent, somebody to shake up that division that we see, learn how to find the common ground, and then work out from there and find what the negotiable things are and what aren't. But right now we spend an awful lot of time focusing on what the things are that we disagree on instead of finding the things we can agree on and make good policy for the people. Yes?
What would be your #1 issue that you would want to work on if you made it to Washington?
Number one. Number one's tough.
Get ready to shift.
Sorry?
I'm kidding.
Put Schiff in the front, then he rest.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that. I don't know if I have one that I can identify as really the number one. I will say that supporting our veterans is very high on my list. Comprehensive immigration reform is high on my list. I think we need to really fix the system, make it good for the people who want to come here for the right reasons, but still, yes, enhance our border security and keep the people out who are coming here for crime, for terrorism, and any number of other, human trafficking is also an issue.